Welcome to Global English. This is an English learning channel. This video provides useful vocabulary words and related examples. Convenience.
方便
The state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. She likes the convenience of online shopping. Convenience is key for modern consumers. For your convenience, we offer free delivery. Convention.
惯例
A generally accepted practice or standard in a particular area, or a large meeting or conference. Social conventions guide behavior in public. She followed the conventions of formal dress. The convention will be held in New York this year. Conventional.
惯例的、普通的、常见的、传统的
Based on or in accordance with what is generally done or believed, traditional. She prefers conventional over modern designs. The treatment follows conventional medical practices. Their house is built with conventional materials. Converse.
交谈、对话
To talk informally with someone. We like to converse after dinner. They often converse on the phone. She converses easily with strangers. Convey.
传达、运送
To communicate or make known. She conveys her ideas clearly. They convey messages quickly. He conveyed the news to us. Convince.
说服、使信服
To persuade someone to believe or do something. I convinced him to join us. She convinced me of her honesty. They convinced us to try again. Cooker.
炊具、炉具
A device used for cooking food. We bought a new cooker. She uses an electric cooker. The cooker is very efficient. Cooperate.
合作、协作
To work together towards a common goal. They cooperate on projects. They cooperated to solve the problem. She cooperated with the team. Cooperation.
合作、协作
The process of working together towards a common goal. Cooperation is essential in a team. They appreciated our cooperation. Their cooperation made it possible. Cooperative.
合作的、协作的
Willing to work together, an organization owned and run jointly by its members. They are always cooperative in meetings. They run a cooperative farm. The team was very cooperative. Cope.
应对、处理
To manage or deal with something difficult. She copes well with stress. We need to cope with changes. They cope with problems daily. Copper.
铜
A reddish-brown metal used for electrical wiring and other purposes. Copper is a good conductor. They mine copper in this region. She wore a copper bracelet. Cord.
绳、线、电线
A long, thin, flexible material, usually thicker than string but thinner than rope. We need a longer cord. She tied it with a cord. We bought a new power cord. Corporation.
公司、法人
A large company or group of companies authorized to act as a single entity. She works for a large corporation. They merged with another corporation. The corporation has global reach. Correspond.
对应、通信
To communicate by exchanging letters or emails, to match or agree almost exactly. They correspond by email regularly. She corresponds with friends abroad. The colors correspond perfectly. Correspondent.
记者、通信者
A person who writes letters to a person or a newspaper, or a journalist reporting from a particular place. She is a foreign correspondent. The correspondent reported from Paris. The correspondent sent a detailed report. Corridor.
走廊、通道
A long passage in a building from which doors lead into rooms. The corridor is very narrow. They walked down the corridor. The corridor leads to the office. Costly.
昂贵的、 代价高的。
Involving great expense, high in price. The repairs were costly. She bought a costly dress. The project became too costly. Costume.
服装、戏服。
A set of clothes worn by an actor or by someone to make them look like someone or something else. She wore a pirate costume. The actors changed their costumes. They rented costumes for the party. Cottage.
小屋、农舍。
A small house, typically in the countryside. They own a charming cottage. The cottage has a thatched roof. She spends summers in her cottage. Council.
议会、理事会。
A group of people elected or appointed to make decisions or give advice on a particular subject. The city council meets monthly. She was elected to the council. The council approved the proposal. Counter.
柜台、计数器。
A flat surface in a store, bank, or kitchen, a device used for counting. She placed the groceries on the counter. The bank teller stood behind the counter. The kitchen counter was clean. Counter.
反对、对抗。
To speak or act in opposition to something. He countered her argument. They counter the opposition's claims. She countered with new evidence. Courageous.
勇敢的、有胆量的。
Having the ability to face danger, fear, or difficulty with bravery. She made a courageous decision. He is a courageous firefighter. They took a courageous stand. Courteous.
有礼貌的、谦恭的。
Polite, respectful, or considerate in manner. She is always courteous. He gave a courteous reply. They were courteous to guests. Courtesy.
礼貌、谦恭。
The showing of politeness in one's attitude and behavior toward others. They thanked her for her courtesy. He showed great courtesy. Courtesy is important in business. Coward.
懦夫、胆小鬼。
A person who lacks the courage to do or endure dangerous or unpleasant things. The coward avoided the confrontation. They called him a coward. He doesn't want to be seen as a coward. Cowboy.
牛仔。
A man who herds and tends cattle, typically on horseback. He worked as a cowboy. The cowboy rode his horse. They watched a cowboy movie. Crack.
裂缝、裂痕。
A line on the surface of something along which it has split without breaking apart. There was a crack in the wall. She noticed a crack in the mirror. He filled the crack with plaster. Cradle.
摇篮、发源地。
A small bed for a baby, especially one that rocks, the place where something began. The baby slept in a cradle. She gently rocked the cradle. He designed a modern cradle. Craft.
工艺、手艺。
An activity involving skill in making things by hand, a vehicle or vessel. She enjoys various crafts. He made a craft out of wood. The craft fair was a success. Cram.
塞满、死记硬背。
To fill something completely, to study intensively over a short period of time. She crammed her suitcase. He crammed for the test. The room was crammed with people. Crane.
起重机、鹤。
A tall machine used for lifting heavy objects, a large bird with long legs and neck. The crane lifted the steel beams. She watched a crane in the field. The crane operator was skilled. Thank you for your watching. Your subscription serves as our driving force to create more videos. See you next time.